Coco, do you want to say hi? You want to be in today's video? Yeah, you do. Say hello. She loves to be in the spotlight, don't you, Coco? She's staring at me. Oh. Yeah, she doesn't want to be in the video. Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? I figured instead of filming in my usual place, why not film in front of my Christmas tree? It's here, it's festive, it's beautiful. On to today's video. Today I am going to be recommending to you guys some winter themed books. Some of the books that I'm going to be talking about today are very Christmassy, they take place during Christmas, and then some of the books that I'm going to be talking about are just more wintry. Some of these books I have read during the holidays and absolutely loved, and then some of these books I am hauling because I just bought them yesterday and they just look like the perfect books to read for this time of the year. The first book that I have here is Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. Is that actually her last name? Miracle? That is just the sweetest. If you are a lover of contemporary and romance and do you love Christmas, then this is the book for you. It consists of 3 love stories and it is adorable. In this book, there is a big snowstorm that hits on Christmas Eve. One of the characters in this book leaves her stranded train during this storm and she ends up setting off a chain of events that affects all of the different characters in this book. During this storm, you're following all of these different characters and these different love stories, and it is so Christmassy. So if you're looking for that perfect, feel-good, light, fluffy Christmas read, this is definitely the book for you. And the next perfect Christmassy book that I have to recommend is called My True Love Gave to Me, and this book is actually by a lot of authors. Some of those include Holly Black, Laini Taylor, Rainbow Rowell, Kirsten White. So really awesome authors who write awesome books. This book has 12 different love stories and they're each their own separate story and they are just the most wonderful thing. I read it last year during Christmas time and it just really put me in that festive mood. What I really like about this book is each story is very different from the other. Each one is diverse in its own way. They're all different kinds of characters. I like the different contrasts between these stories, but what they all have in common is that they make you feel very Christmassy and put you in that holiday mood. And the next book that I have here is one that I love, and it is Winterspell by Claire Legrand. This book is a retelling of The Nutcracker, which is a story that I absolutely adored when I was little. It follows Clara Stoll, who on Christmas Eve, her father is abducted, and in order to find her father, she ventures into the fictional land of Cain. In Cain, a dethroned prince who is bound by a curse is the only person that can help her try to save her father, but meanwhile, they are both being hunted down by a very evil and awful queen. It definitely has that very wintry feeling to it with the snow, and it's based off of the Nutcracker, so that's very Christmassy. I personally feel like fairy tale retellings and Christmas are like the best combination ever, so if you are somebody that also has a love for fairy tale retellings, definitely check out this book. Next, I'm going to recommend a book that, for those of you who have been watching me for a while, you've probably seen me talk about like a bazillion gazillion times, and that is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. So I'm more so showing this book for those of you who maybe haven't been watching my videos that long and are not tired of hearing me talk about this book, because I do just think that it is a great book to read for the winter time. It is called Shiver, and it takes place in like a very snowy atmosphere, and it is about werewolves, and it is by Maggie Stiefvater. So basically you have every reason to read this book. I guess you could say that this is kind of a supernatural kind of book, but personally I would say that it is more of a romance because it more heavily focuses on the relationship between our main character Grace and her developing relationship with this werewolf Sam. I thought it's a good book to recommend for those of you who maybe aren't as into contemporary reads. I know that I am not like a huge contemporary person, so if you like werewolves and you like more like that supernatural stuff but you still want that wintry feeling, this is the book for you. Next, for the books that I'm going to be hauling, which I'm so excited about. The first book that I have here is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Let's take a moment to appreciate this book. Look at the pages. Just look at them. I do love Leigh Bardugo, but a big reason that I wanted this book was because of how cool it looks. Whoever said never judge a book by its cover, I don't know. I always judge books by their cover. I've also read another series by Leigh Bardugo. The first book in that series is called Shadow and Bone. I will put a picture of it right here. It is a pretty popular book, and actually I would also like to recommend Shadow and Bone. It's not like strictly based in winter, but in my opinion it has a very dark and kind of chilling wintry atmosphere to it. This book 6 of Crows takes place in the same fantasy world that Shadow and Bone takes place in, but it follows different characters. I'm not actually entirely sure what this book is about, so please bear with me, but from what I have gathered, it follows a character named Kaz who works in an international trade hub, and he is given an opportunity that could lead him to enormous wealth. He ends up working with these other characters that we also follow in this book. Those characters include a convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who cannot walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy known as the Wraith, a heart tender using her magic to survive the slums, and a thief with a gift for unlikely escape. Kaz's crew are the only ones who might stand between the world and destruction if they don't kill each other first. That sounds so good! I have a feeling that it's going to give me a lot of the same feelings that I got from Shadow and Bone. I read Shadow and Bone during the winter, and I just like felt like it just had that perfect atmosphere for this time of year, so I'm hoping that this one will have the same feeling. So I just really like reading high fantasy during the winter. It just fits. The next book that I picked up at the bookstore yesterday was Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. This book kind of is a little bit out of place in this video because I actually don't have any reason to believe that this is a wintry book at all. I don't think it takes place in winter. But I do have a reason. I personally feel that fantasy books are wonderful for both the fall and winter time, and fantasy is my favorite genre to read during the winter. I am going to be reading this during the winter. It's like the perfect type of book to curl up with a nice cup of tea and lose yourself in this other fantastical world. I'm actually really excited for it. I feel like I'm finally ready to tackle this book. It follows different characters who all come from different kingdoms within this world. There's a ton of political intrigue, and the dynamics between these characters end up getting really intertwined and messy. I've heard that it's kind of like a young adult Game of Thrones, which I don't know. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, and I don't know if this is going to live up quite to that standard, but we'll see. I'll let you know. Keep your eyes out for a review because this is going to be one of my first winter reads. I'm very excited, and I plan on discussing it with you guys very soon. That will be it for today's winter-themed recommendation slash book haul. Personally, I think these are great books to read for this time of the year, so please let me know in the comments below if you decide to read any of them. I would love to hear what you think of them. And that will be it for today's video, so I will have many more bookish holiday videos coming for you guys very soon, so keep your eyes out for that. If you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I hope that you all go and have yourselves a fabulous day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!